Joe's Crab Shack in Minnesota, or at least one Joe's Crab Shack in Minnesota, is facing a great deal of criticism after they decided to use a photograph showing a lynching in the 1800s, and they displayed it as art. So let me give you the details on that. Apparently, they used this photograph of a lynching, and it's clearly mentioned that it's a hanging of an individual back in 1895, on the table of one of their restaurants in Roseville, Minnesota, okay? Now, it appeared to show a large group of white people watching a public execution of at least one black person. On the bottom of the picture, it reads, hanging at Groesbeck, Texas on April 12th, 1895. At the top, the caption reads, all I said was I didn't like the gumbo. Basically,
It's so funny because they serve gumbo.
wow. So a couple went over there to eat, and they see this on the table, and they were shocked at what they saw. And so, of course, they criticized them. The story went to the press, and now Joe's Crab Shack, this particular one, has taken that down, and they have apologized for what they've done. But the fact that they needed the criticism to realize that it was wrong is telling. This is the country we live in right now.
This is jaw-dropping, man, isn't it?
It's not, to me. It really isn't.
Well,
because you see a lot of stuff like this all the time, all over the place?
I see a lot of it
I can't
all
believe
the time.
it.
And it's,
in a corporate environment like that?
well, you gotta understand, they have probably over 130-something stores across the
They have a lot,
country.
yeah.
And I guarantee you in Roseville, which is a suburb of Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's, you know, this is an example of the state of our union present day in the sense of, and I feel like Donald Trump is a big blame of this because in his racist rhetoric, it's bringing out a lot of the closet racists that have been in the closet for so many years. And now they feel comfortable to come out and, yes, I don't want this, and yes, I don't want that. For that picture to be under the glass on a table meant that it went through a manager,
Right.
it went through a general manager.
That's what I
It
mean.
went through a lot of people, and it took a black couple to go to have
And
dinner.
that's also what I
and they
mean.
wanted all you can eat crab legs. I love crab legs.
Sure, I got you. I'd put up with a lot for the kind of food that I like, not crab legs, by the way. But I would have been moderately more pleased at the story if, I don't know what the number is, if 138 or maybe 538 or maybe 1,538 white people hadn't sat at that table. Like, I am positive, I know for a fact, knowing me, I do not see that. I know this for you too, Jimmy. We would not see it. We would take a picture of that and we would send it to newspapers.
Yes.
First, I'd be like, what the? No way, they're being lynched. And they're not being lynched, odds are 1895 in Groesbeck, Texas, they're not being lynched for a real crime either.
Exactly.
It's insane. I don't know. I think that's
Sickening.
the worst part of the story, knowing that so many people
Yeah.
saw it and did absolutely nothing about it. Like, it was just the most normal thing to see as, displayed as art at a restaurant. It's crazy.
And, was it David Candelano, who's from Ignite Restaurant Group, who owns Joe's? Of course they have to speak out because they want everyone in California, in Georgia, in Colorado, wherever else there's restaurants are to, continue to go. So that's like the quintessential idea of damage control.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the example right there of,
let me
let
read
me
you-
save our company right now, and we'll just fire this asinine employee and the manager, and we'll keep moving.
Yeah, and let me read you their apology. We sincerely apologize to our guests who were disturbed by the image, and we look forward to continuing to serve the Roseville community. I don't know.
Insufficient.
I mean, it's so insufficient, right? It's just not enough. It's not enough. Now, the NAACP is calling for them to do more. They want them to donate money to an organization that helps, underprivileged black youth. I think they should absolutely do that. They need to go further. They need to understand that this is not a laughing matter, and it's unacceptable to use photos of lynchings as comedic relief at your establishment.
When I first read the story, I was just praying these guys that the poor, because no matter who these guys are, from what we know about the death penalty now to know what we know about the death penalty in 1895, let's pretend these guys were white, right? Which I was praying, because that at least removes one hideous component of this.
Right.
But the fact is, whoever we lynched in 1895, 50-50 proposition that we got the right guy.
Right.
And whatever it is, it's a public spectacle of people gathering around to witness a murder.
Apparently-
And cheering it. And cheering it is everything that is disgusting with America. And as you say, Kenny, everything that Donald Trump has sort of made us sort of celebrate. And there are plenty of people here when we see that hat and Make America Great Again that we're like, yeah, Yeah, when we could just say, hey, you know what? Did you look at that white woman?
Well,
Well, that's it. That was when America was
60
great.
years ago, those hats were sheets.